finna law it.
I'm praying it.
Because he ain't got none. He like Samson.
I was thinking that. I wasn't going to say it. I didn't know if it was going to give you 93.
Wow.
You know?
Oh, my Lord.
You better know your Bible. This is Jericho.
That's
This
right.
is it.
So, I was going to say it now.
Okay, so you don't like his hair. Okay.
Yeah, so just say if I say that, and if you say, okay, well, Erica, why don't you like my haircut?
Okay.
That's a more secure style because you are open and engaging. You're ready to talk about it.
Okay.
But if I say I don't like your haircut, and you're like, well, do you like, are you no longer going to be my friend? Like, are you going to do that's going to be more anxious. But if I say I don't like your haircut, and then you say, well, I don't like your braids, I don't like your makeup, I don't like your, that's more. Yeah, so
what kind of style
that'll be more avoidant because instead of just saying like, what's the problem? Why don't you like my haircut? You're gonna immediately attack me. You're attacking what I said, but you're avoiding what I said, but you're gonna come in on me.
Oh, and I know a lot of people do that.
Woo, a lot.
Way too many.
We call that deflecting.
Yes.
Moving the goalpost.
Yeah, and that's what you're gonna realize in the book with avoidance. You're gonna see a lot of deflecting, and you're gonna see a lot of projecting. Lots of projecting.
Listen, that projecting thing, it hits a special place with me because I'm telling you now, I had a particular run-in with the projector.
Oh, wow.
And you sitting over here like, that's not me, that's you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you experience that, it's in a lot of ways it's gaslighting. And it's just like they're trying to set you, man, they're trying to set you off.
Gaslighting is such a popular word.
It is.
Popular thing. It's like narcissism.
Yeah, that's
it's like, wow.
It's gotten very popular.
Wow.
Most people are not narcissists.
Most people are not. Most people are actually just full of themselves. They're not even a narcissist. They just egotistical.
Maybe
They
egotistical.
got a big ego.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe egotistical.
Yes.
They may be overly confident, but narcissistic. Y'all don't know this. I went to school for psychology.
Ooh.
And so, so that's kind of one of my things that I always, I know I'm a nerd. Documentaries, I just, and I always look up what the different symptoms of different terms are. And most people will take 2 or 3, and you need more than that oftentimes to determine whether the person has been a narcissist.
Let me ask this, Erica. Is it possible that people don't understand their own attachment style when it comes to their relationship with God?
Ooh. I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes. And the relationship with God, not to sound cliche, but I'm a church girl, it's the most important relationship.
It is.
And that's a relationship where you would want to have a secure attachment style.
And not be anxious.
But a lot of us have anxious because when we do stuff, we're like, is God going to forgive me? Or if something happens, is God punishing me?
Why did God do that to me?
Yes.
When we pray, did God hear my prayer?
Yes. But we should definitely be working or moving towards having a more secure relationship with God and just knowing that whatever happens in our life, good or bad, like that song For Every Mountain, everything's not going to be good. But you got to thank God for those mountains and thank God for those valleys and just know that it's not punishment. It's progression. It's progression.
I have learned to thank God for the open doors. But I've even more learned to appreciate the doors that God closed.
Ooh.
Because those doors that God closed, that he didn't, or he never allowed to be open, it was for a reason. And some of us know we've had situations that it was a Pandora's box. It was like once it was open, once that lane was open, it's so hard to close that door. I've never been on drugs or anything like that, but I do know that I have a very attached, driven personality. I kind of get all the way into whatever it is that I do, so much so that I've become pretty good at it. So that's a habit that I have with anything, whether it was sports growing up, whether it was music growing up, whether it was anything. So I imagine that if I got onto drugs, that would have been a Pandora's box for me I personally wouldn't have been able to close.
I have a friend in my personal life. Addiction runs in her family. And because of that, she does not drink. She does not smoke. She doesn't do anything because she knows, like you said, it's a Pandora. If I do this, it's a possibility that I will go down the wrong path.
Mhm.
And I've always respected that about her so
Yeah.
much.
Mhm.
I've always loved that about her because she's aware.
Mhm.
And that's the self-awareness that we all need. So it's good to hear that you're aware as
Yeah.
well.
Now,
Yeah.
I've got a question on that. I don't want to delve off from what we're talking about, but what you were saying about, because I know some people that are like that. They never drink or they never smoke because they could have had some type of medical issue.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know a person had polycystic kidney disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So it runs in their family. They never drink. They never smoke. But then you have another person who they have this addictiveness in their family, and they have to deal with this drug addiction or this porn addiction or whatever the addiction is, and they have to deal with it. So I guess my question is it more? Does it mean more when you're a conqueror, or does it mean more when you're more than a conqueror? Because I would say a person who's never tasted it or never touched it, you're a conqueror because you mentally know I can't do this thing. Because if I do, I may never come back, or my body can't take it, my spirit can't take it. But another person who's been that addict, who's been down in the gutter, and they actually had to crawl their way out, pray their way out. Their mama, their pastor, everybody had to help them. They had to go through a 12-step program. Which is
greater?
Which is
to be
greater?
honest, I think they're equal.
Okay.
And I'm going to say they're equal because keep in mind the person who's the conqueror, as you just said, they still have to be tempted with it.
Mm-hmm.
If you saying, addiction runs in my family, I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to smoke, but every party there's liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, every party there's edibles. You know what I'm saying? It's so many things for you to try. And so for you to say in my mind, I'm not going to touch that. I'm going to be stronger than this temptation. It's the same as somebody. It's the same to me. It's equal to somebody who's saying, "I'm done with that. I'm done with that life. I've been there, done that." Like you said last Sunday, Architect. I'm going to focus on what's forward. To me, it's the same. It takes that same mental strength.
I guess that's what the scripture says. Nay, in all these things, we are more than conquerors. Because we will be a conqueror. Anyone, you can conquer things in your life, but we're natural. But God is super.
Yeah.
And so you take his super and put it with our natural.
Yeah.
And now you got supernatural.
Yeah.
We're more than conquerors.
More than conquerors. And I think it's important for us to understand what our strong suits are and what are not our strong suits. If you're, another big topic is accountability and self-awareness.
That's true.
Those are two things that we have to focus in on, because you know what? There's some things that I just don't do well naturally, right? Let me think of something. I'm not gonna tell y'all.
What?
You was ready.
What is it?
I might confess after the break.
All right, because I want to hear. I want to know what's up. What you not good at?
Right.
What am I not good at?
Because you could preach, you could play, you could make coffee, you could make a strawberry cake. So what is it? You could engineer.
I can keep a clean house.
You keep a clean house.
clean.
You a nerd, so you smart.
Clean.
And it smells so lovely.
I'm glad that, listen, you know what? That's important. Listen, because Pat C said the same thing, so it's consistent as far as
cleanliness is next to godliness.
All right. Big facts.
So yeah, let's go to break and we'll come back.
Yes.
See y'all in a minute. Do you put the hand up? Does that do it?
I'm gonna just stop.
Okay.
I just wanted to sit for a second.
Yeah.
That was a